Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Reporter's Notebook. For those of you who've never watched Reporter's Notebook before, it's a really cool segment where, sort of towards the end of our days, we get to sit down with some of our reporters, maybe some of our editors, maybe some of our producers, and just figure out what it's like behind the scenes working at a news station and digging a little deeper into those stories that we cover for you guys each and every day. So today we are joined by Miss Ariana Kraft on Zoom. Hello, hello. So Ariana has a great story for today. It's something that has been widely talked about over the past couple weeks, especially, and it's all about COVID-19 vaccinations. So Ariana, I know you talked to some counties today about what their kind of plans were for vaccines. So what did you learn about that today?
Yeah, so we got word that North Carolina will be getting the Pfizer vaccine. And so what I was really interested on was how that's going to look for counties because of the extremely cold temperatures that specific vaccine requires when it's being stored or transported. I spoke with Lenore County's Health Department Director, Pamela Brown, and she kind of broke it down for me and explained how planning and timeliness is going to play a big role in all of this. For example, she gave me an example of how they could get the vaccine delivered a day before the vaccine clinic is run because the vaccine itself the temperature needs to come down before it can be administered. So that timing will be enough to not have to be stored in that very cold temperature. They don't have to purchase more infrastructure for that kind of thing if they're planning it accordingly. And she, said that for months now, they've been planning and, talking with other government agencies to make sure that when the vaccine is ready to be distributed throughout the counties here, they'll be ready to do so.
Definitely. And I know, one of the big things they've been pushing, especially for Pfizer's vaccine, is they really want to get that out, by the end of December. So talking to these counties, is that something that, these health experts and health agencies are telling them that's going to happen? Is that something that is going to be possible for these counties?
Yeah, so for priority groups, it is, there's a chance that people can be getting these vaccines as early as this month, but it is important to remember that widespread public vaccinations might still be months away. It's going to go down to those priority groups first, so it still might be months until the general public can get these vaccinations. And so that kind of leads into the next thing she was telling me. And with more holidays coming up, the safest way to prevent any form or any spread of the coronavirus is probably to stay home and limit any traveling and gatherings and things like that.
Definitely. And that's one of the things, even before Thanksgiving weekend that, the CDC was really pushing, like, stay home, do it virtually. And, a lot of people still traveled. So, the CDC is having to kind of almost backtrack a little bit on the recommendations that they've had for people. They're making a lot of changes for quarantine time periods, what they're recommending for travel, what they're recommending for pets being on, airplanes at this time. So this is great that they're, counties here in North Carolina are really planning this out ahead of time, which is awesome because, like you said, it's not going to be, widely distributed to the public for, at least until March is kind of around the time frame they're thinking. So it's awesome to hear that, right here in our state, they're really making some progress and taking those initiative steps to make sure that when it does come, our state's ready and our people are going to get it that need it the most. So that's awesome. What were the specific counties that you did end up talking to today? Are there any that are kind of progressing more than others?
No, I was only actually able to speak with Lenore County, but
Okay.
Previously in the past, Pitt counties have said, Dr. Silvernail has said similar things when it comes to, that distribution process. He is hopeful as well when it comes to that process.
Right. Awesome. And definitely Pfizer. Did you hear anything about, I think it was Moderna maybe that is also sent theirs to be approved for the FDA. Do you know if they've gotten any word back on Moderna or the other vaccines? Or right now, is it just kind of Pfizer is like the big one that's going out to be distributed?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that completely, but, today we were just talking about Pfizer because that is the one that North Carolina will see for sure.
Definitely. Well, if you guys want some more information on Ariana's story and, the plans for vaccine distribution in the upcoming months for not only, the country, but for our state of North Carolina specifically, you can check that out at WNCT.com. And you can also, she's going to be live tonight at 5 and 6 for you guys as well. So make sure that you guys are checking out these stories that we're continuing to track, especially with COVID-19. We're going to try to keep you guys as updated as possible on all the latest information that's coming out with all that. So thank you so much, Ariana, for doing this story today and taking the time to figure out this information for everybody here in the state. And thank you for taking the time to sit and chat with us. Ariana has to get to her live shoot, so we're super happy she was able to join us. I know you're probably bundled in the car right now waiting for your live shot.
All right, well, thank you, Emily.
You're so welcome. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Reporter's Notebook.